What's
And
your
we're
name?
live.
Yeah.
Huh?
So, am I gonna do much of an intro? I have a intro slide. So, should I do much intro with my face, or just say hello?
Yeah, sure. Start like this first.
And we're live now.
Yay! Awesome.
So, I'm going to start. I've got lots of stuff coming up. Hello, Venkat. Nice to see you, my friend. UK represented. Yes. So, nice to see you this evening, today, people. We are very excited to see you to attend this Monday webinar called the Mastermind Fever Hangout. And what we do every Monday as a group on Facebook, we have some special guests. We've got people within the group who had an interest into hosting their own hangouts, and we help them do that to move forward in their business. And the purpose of the Mastermind Fever team is to help anybody within any business to come together, find a mastermind partner, and grow their business faster. So Lydia Brown and myself have created the Mastermind Fever group, and it has always been a great excitement to see more and more people joining in and developing into great leaders. And just recently we had Kerry Wilson come in and join forces with us to make this group a success, even more powerful. So if it's with a great excitement and pleasure that we are inviting you again today to this Mastermind Fever Hangout, where we have a special host. Her name is Tiffany Brooks, who joined recently, something like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, the Mastermind Fever Hangout. And I can see right there the traits of a leader, because when we said we need somebody to host one of the hangouts, she raised her hand and said yes, I'm in. She didn't know what she was going to do, but she had this desire to do it. And it's really what we like. So feel the fear and do it anyway. We don't care if you don't have any makeup, you don't have, a beautiful, pretty face like myself, like Carrie, like Tiffany, like Lydia. It's not a problem. We just want you to be there. On that note, I want to say welcome again to our new friends who are coming in. Renee, thank you very much for being here. We've got Andrea all the way from sunny Germany, so this is quite amazing. So if Lydia, you want to say something, and Kerry, you want to say something before Tiffany shares a few words and start a presentation, the floor is yours.
I just want to welcome everyone and thank them. And I want to thank you, Tiffany Brooks, for utilizing the Mastermind Fever group the way it should be, stepping out on faith and taking action and trusting us to be there with you as you practice your first webinar. And hopefully next week you'll do a public one, and we'll come and support you there too. That is what it's all about. Is if you could just start it in the group with the group members, you could take it away and roll from there. And other members in the group last year did the same thing, and they have just soared ever since. So, Tiffany, when you finish today, right away, as soon as you can, set up your public one. You'd be surprised how many people will come and support you in the group and outside the group. It's the beginning of a wonderful business building journey using webinars. So if you can do it today, you can do it on. I'm so looking forward to this. And I just want to say to everyone, Carrie has brought a lot of skills and information to the Mastermind Fever group. I mean, it's just wonderful to have her join us and be an active admin. And I just want to tell you, we appreciate you, Carrie.
Thank you. It's been an honor. It's been a life changer, really. It's really opened up so many doors. So
great.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, so Tiffany, same. Hats off to you. Like, man, it took me a long time to step outside of my comfort zone. So it's not, this industry alone is not for the faint of heart, and the only way you can get out there and get seen and get your business moving is to do exactly what you did and step up and jump in first and sink or swim, and you're going to swim.
Exactly.
So I'm looking forward to hearing.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
All right, so do I have the floor?
Yes, you are.
You do.
Of course. Sing and
All
dance.
right.
I'll mute myself out so my face won't pop up.
Yep.
Can you guys see me okay when I'm talking?
Yeah.
You do?
Yep.
Okay. All right, well, I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank you guys for having me and giving me an opportunity to jump out of my comfort zone. And since we're talking about goals and upgrading our self-image and really just jumping out there, I want to mention that this is actually one of my 2014 goals, is to be a part of the mastermind. So already I have achieved something that I was kind of hesitant to jump into. And the reason why I was hesitant is simply because I wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page, wanting to be a team player. I've been in a lot of groups, and it was a pitch fest. I've been to networking events, and you can tell like people were on the end of their seats waiting to give their business card. And that's just not what I wanted to be a part of. So my goal was to either form my own group where everyone wanted to provide value and get value from the group, or join a group. And so I saw Aurore's YouTube videos, and I was like, this sounds like something I need to get into. So I requested to join, and here I am. So we were going through, and for some reason I couldn't get a full view of my slides to work. So we're just going to roll with it. You guys let me know what you see. I'm going to try to get my little box to come back here. All right. So we can get started. All right, so you guys are seeing at least a slide?
Yep, you're good to go.
All righty. Okay, so obviously we're going to be talking about goals and priorities and visions and missions and all that good stuff. So I want you to like get excited about this. Like really start dreaming big or dreaming bigger. So about me, I'm not trying to be a guru. I'm not a guru. I don't aspire to be a guru. I'm a wife and mompreneur. I'm a perfectly imperfect lady that's dedicated to my own personal development, but also taking others along on my journey and hopefully helping them with their journey. So what I'm talking about tonight is something that, you know, is really close to my heart. These are just some things that help me to get on the right path, and I want to share them with you. So we're going to go through some goal setting stuff, setting a foundation, but I also want to take it a little deeper and talk about that inner work that sometimes we jump in and we just get started and we don't do that inner work, and that's actually probably the most important part. So some things you may have heard before, but if you aren't putting things into action that you feel are going to work for you, I hope that this webinar helps you to take action. And for my goal getters on here who are already setting goals and making moves and taking names, I hope that this is some extra encouragement for you. So maybe for you guys who are already setting goals and achieving your goals, maybe I can kind of fan your flames a bit, or maybe help you to think of things in a new way, or maybe some things that you haven't thought about before. And I just want to provide value to you no matter where you are in your journey. So having said that, please, 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 with whatever examples that I use, whether it's myself or anyone else, approach this material thinking about what's going to work for you, what you can take. Approach it like a buffet, you know, take what you want and leave what you don't. But my goal is to inspire you into action and empower you to define your own success. So I want all of us really to make 2014 our best year yet. So I kind of want you to think about, how is it going so far? I was listening to a talk by Anthony Robbins, and he said that studies show that 95% of people who make New Year's resolutions give up by January 15th. That's not good. So I'm not going to talk about resolutions here, but if you've made them, I hope that I can help you with those. And this is more of, a solid foundation, not a wishful thinking. I think sometimes that's how people approach resolutions. It's more of a wishful thinking, but we're talking about some hardcore stuff right here. So I wanted to share this quote with you because I really love it, and I actually ran across this just the other day, and it's by Michael Dell, and he says, "You don't have to be a genius or a visionary or even a college graduate to be successful. You just need a framework and a dream." And that, I was like, wow, I'm going to use that because that kind of sets the tone for this webinar, because that's what I'm going to be talking about, a framework and a dream. The very first thing, and you don't have to read all this, this is really a note from me, and it's just an example, so I'm going to read it to you. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is a priority statement, and I have Chalene Johnson to thank for this one because I was going through her book, Push. She has a program, the 30-Day Push, which is about goal setting. But I never really approached my goals this way. And the first assignment I had was to write a priority statement. And as I wrote that priority statement, I actually really began to cry, like tears just pouring down my eyes, because I realized that I wasn't being true to myself and that I was going through the motions. I hadn't really sat down and thought all these things through. I've tried a lot of things. One thing that remains is that I have the heart of a servant, and I've tried to find my way. How do I want to serve? And when I went through this, I realized that I wasn't really honoring my priorities. So I would encourage you, if you haven't done this before, to write your own priority statement. This is like, to me, the beginning of living life by design. So I'm going to read this one, and this is just an example. Remember, you're doing this for yourself. There isn't much guidance for this because it's all about what's important to you. So here's an example of a priority statement. My number one priority is to be actively involved in the lives of my husband and children, to demonstrate through my actions that they are more important than any personal pursuit, to raise self-sufficient, confident children who believe they can do anything, to limit any activities, pursuits, or relationships that might take me away from my family, and to weigh all decisions against what would be helpful, harmful, or indifferent to my family. Now, of course, that's an example. This could be really all about you. If you don't have a husband and children, or this could be about honoring yourself and just making sure that you are being true to yourself. So this is where you decide what you will do and what you won't do. And this way, when opportunities arise, you'll quickly be able to know whether it's something for you or not. So now I'm going to move on to your vision. And this is the exciting part. So I really want you to get excited, dream again, get that feeling back that you had when you were a kid, when you thought anything was possible. And again, this is a pen and paper thing. If you want to now, you can maybe jot down some things that you really want to think about deeper once this is over. But again, this should excite you. Your vision should pull you. This is really the foundation, because later down the road, when times get tough, you can always bring yourself back to this. So just like any business, let's say, we always talk about building you Inc., and I love that. I love that we talk about that in this mastermind group. Have a mission statement for yourself. Maybe something that you have that you look at every day, maybe something that you recite every day, or just bring yourself back to. My mission statement, just to throw out an example, in case you want to use this and make it your own, but mine is to enrich the lives of others by assisting them in obtaining time and financial freedom, and encouraging them to live healthy, fulfilling lives. That's my mission. It's very simple. I've written that down. I get up, I look at it. So I encourage you to write your own mission statement if you don't have that already. Also, follow your bliss. And this is something, that is very close to my heart, because, as I said, I realized that I was going through the motions. I was doing things that, you know, I thought I should do rather than doing what I really wanted to do. So this is really, it's all about you. It's about what you want to do. It's not about what other people think you should be doing. This is really following your bliss. And I love the quote by Joseph Campbell: "Follow your bliss, and doors will open where there were only walls." I think that is extremely powerful, because if you're really following your bliss, that is exactly what happens. Doors will start to open. People will come into your life unexpectedly, people that can help you on your journey. And so the how means very little without this why. This is the inner work we're talking about, because someone can give you a roadmap and you're going to come to some obstacles. But if you have a strong why, you'll take that and you'll get creative. You know, you'll find ways around any obstacles that you meet if you have this strong why. So now I'm going to move on to the foundational stuff, really making your plan. So you're going to decide exactly what you want, and this is when you start to break it down. So you got your priorities, you have your big vision, and now you're going to start breaking it down into goals. And this is something that hopefully when you do this, you really feel it. Like, don't just write the stuff down, like just really like feel it as if, you know, it has manifested already. So write out your goals in present tense, and I love how Bob Proctor tells us to approach this. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then write out your goals. And so I'm pretty sure that most of you on here have probably heard of SMART goals, where that acronym stands for specific, measurable, attainable, and time-bound. But I think I might get a little bit controversial right here, because some of our personal development leaders might not agree with this. But I think that everything that you do, you should do it in a way that feels good for you. So if you have the experience of writing down the dates and that only makes you feel very anxious, you know, you see the time is approaching and you're getting flustered or whatever, then don't do it. I know that that may be kind of controversial, but do what feels right for you. For some people, they put the date that encourages them, and you know, they keep going, they look at that and they're like, yeah. So if that works for you, then do it. Take anything that I say here and make it your own. So you're going to decide exactly what you want, and this is not like a wish list. It's not like you know, it would be nice if, you know, that type of thing. This is like really solid, like really what do you want? And then identify some of the obstacles and sacrifices. So of course you're not going to be able to think of every possible obstacle that you're going to face, but there are some things that you know you're going to have to get around right off the bat. So if you can already like map that out and come up with a plan, then it makes things so much easier. And think about what you're going to sacrifice. Like, what are you willing to give up? Is it, you know, giving up some reality TV time to work on your business, or watching less of whatever to invest some time in your personal development? Think of those things. What are you going to sacrifice? And then identify the knowledge, information, and skills you're going to need. I think for me personally, I know this is one of those things I'm like, yeah, I could have done better on that in the past. So just identify some things that you're going to need to learn and some skills that you'll need. And then whose help and cooperation will you need? Or maybe who will you have to get around? So just this is really just a foundation of really mapping all these things out. And then what will you have to do? What are you going to have to do to achieve your goals? And here's a really, really big one. Who will you have to become? Sometimes we jump into things and, you know, again, we haven't put that much thought into it. But who will you have to become? Maybe you haven't been in a leadership role before, but to meet your goals, you're going to have to step into that leadership role. So these are things to think about. And then decide to succeed. This is really big. It's like you're cutting off any other option. It's like, I'm going to succeed no matter what. So expect success and eliminate the I can't and only ask yourself, how can I? And I'm going to reiterate that a little later. And then after you've got all that stuff together, you've written it all out, then you really start making a really solid plan. And then, as my mastermind teammates here said, begin before you are ready. And that is really what this is about. Just jump in there and start, and things will work out, and you'll make adjustments along the way. So with that plan, got that plan, you're taking action, develop some daily habits that are going to move you closer. So like have some, what you might call rituals that you do that get you closer to your goals. And always, always, always check in with yourself. I actually have some questions that I ask myself daily, and depending on how things are going, I might have to ask myself multiple times a day. One of the things I ask myself is, am I living my truth? As I said before, I want to inspire others to live their truth, to find their own success, but it's also important for me personally, because I've been in situations where I wasn't living my truth. So that is just one of the examples of something that I ask myself to just check in with myself. And I want to mention this, movement versus progress. Don't confuse the two. Sometimes we get to taking action, but we're not taking the actions that are actually going to propel us forward to achieving our goals. Part of this, too, is mastering procrastination. That's a big one, right? And always be flexible. You have your plan, but you know that you may have to tweak things. You may even have to go way back to the beginning and even kind of tweak your priorities, because things change in our lives. And just be ready for that and be open, and you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Be flexible and reevaluate everything. Reevaluate your goals, take yourself back to your priorities, and make any necessary changes that you need to make. One of the things that I notice with everyone that I admire, people that I follow, they all have in common past failures. And they took those failures and they learned how to profit from them. So turn your roadblocks into stepping stones. Learn how to take anything that's not going right, tweak it, and turn it into a benefit. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about accountability and mastermind. This is so powerful. And guys, I said before, I kind of shied away from this, and it was several reasons. In the beginning, I just didn't like accountability. I just shied away from that. I'm like, I got this. I can guide myself. I'm good. And I just got over that. Because when you really have a burning desire and you have a big vision, you need some cooperation. you may have to reach out to others for help and assistance, and just to help you stay strong. And get you a mastermind group. As I said before, the reason why I shied away from that is because of the pitch fests that I've been a part of. But it's so important when several, even two or more minds come together. It's extremely powerful. So now I'm going to transition. I'm sure my friends will talk a little bit more about accountability and mastermind. I'm going to transition to upgrading your self-image. And this is really, really important to me, because you're in one place and you're saying, I'm here and I want to go there. But in order to go there, you need to be able to see yourself there. So that's what I mean when I say upgrade your self-image. See yourself as having everything that it is you want, and also know that you deserve it. So I'm going to share this quote with you by Maxwell Maltz, the author of Psycho-Cybernetics, which I recommend to everyone who ever talks to me about wanting to achieve great things or getting over their self-limiting beliefs, which I'm going to talk about next. And I've read this book myself, and it's just been so helpful. So the quote is, every one of us acts, feels, and behaves in a way that is consistent with our self-image regardless of the reality of that image. I think that's extremely powerful. Like, you won't outperform your self-image, so you have to see yourself having and deserving everything that it is you want. Some of you may have seen this image with the horse before, and I think this is a very powerful image because oftentimes it's just us holding us back. It's our beliefs. So the very first thing to do is to get rid of our self-limiting beliefs. And again, eliminate that word can't. So one thing that I like you to do is to get out a sheet of paper. You can do this now, you can do this later. And just write down some self-limiting beliefs you have. It could be anything. It could be I'm too old, or I've made too many mistakes, or it's too late. I don't know. Whatever it is, I can't. That's the first thing. Any I can't you have, let's get rid of those. So write all those things down, anything that is holding you back now. And then take that piece of paper and rip it up and throw it away, and let's not look back from here on out. So now I'm going to transition to programming yourself for success. So now you got your priorities in order, you know your vision, you're really, really clear, your goals are written down, you're working on upgrading your self-image, or you've done it. So here, this is also kind of some maintenance work too. Imagination and visualization. This is another thing that I think that I didn't give much time to. And I would encourage you, if you can do this, set time aside every day to see yourself being the person that you want to become. See yourself having the life that it is you want. Be very clear on this. It would be good if you can really write this stuff out in detail and then just bring yourself back to it every day and visualize it. And I mean, visualize it so much so that you almost feel like an appreciation for having it, even though it hasn't even manifested yet. I mean, this is really an emotional process, like really feel like you have everything that it is you want. And I'm going to talk a little bit about affirmations and auto-suggestions, kind of the same thing here. As far as affirmations go, again, this might sound a little controversial to some leaders, but I encourage you to say affirmations, but I encourage you to say them when you're feeling good. If you're frustrated, you're flustered, and you're having one of those days, and you're saying affirmations, you may be affirming the opposite of whatever you're saying. Because if you're not feeling it and you're not believing it at that time, you're really just affirming that you're not feeling it and you're not believing it at that time. So if you do say affirmations daily, it's good if you're not feeling it, that you go off and take a nap or do something that you enjoy, and then come back where you're kind of feeling good. Because the idea is to really believe the things that you're saying. So if you're the type of person that you can say it over and over and you can get yourself out of that mood and you can really start to feel it, then hey, go with it. But if not, just stop and kind of just come back when you're feeling good. Also, don't feed the fears. Not only should you not feed your own fears, but please don't let other people feed your fears. And that's where the accountability and mastermind, the associations, associating with people who are going to stretch you and uplift you, that really comes in handy. And as far as fears go, action kills fear. So just get moving. I know somebody recently came to me and told me that their technique was just going to be just to run to it. Like whatever they fear, they're just going to run to it and not even think about it. And I think that's awesome. Also, don't put off relaxation. I know, you probably hear it all the time. Take time to relax, take time for yourself. But it is really so important. This is maintenance work. And this keeps those enemies of fear and frustration at bay. If you can learn to just relax, even if you're open to meditating, the worst thing that you can do is to let yourself get frustrated. So this can really help you with that. Things aren't always going to go as planned, but if you can just learn to relax and get back on track, that is awesome. You'll be fine. Also, eliminate perfectionism because this could be very paralyzing. Often we don't do anything because we're waiting to have all our ducks in a row and waiting for everything to be perfect, for all the stars to align, and that, that's just not necessary. Just get out there and do it. Again, see yourself as successful now, and that's where that imagination and visualization comes in at. And then appreciation is the secret sauce. And I call appreciation the secret sauce because it is so powerful. No matter what's going on, if you can take time to just feel appreciation for whatever's going right, appreciation for those in your life that you love, those that you admire, people who have crossed your path that have left something, even some of the people that may have hurt you. I know there are people that have hurt me that I've learned great lessons from, and I actually do. I wasn't, trust me, this has been a process. I didn't always feel like this, but I've come to appreciate those people as well. And lastly, invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. It's like saying, I'm worth it. Invest in your personal development, invest in things that you enjoy. Just love on yourself, So now I will transition to modeling because this is actually pretty darn important too as far as achieving our goals. But I want to talk about modeling while living your truth. We have the great opportunity to learn from the successes and mistakes of other people. We can learn from people what worked for them. We can learn what didn't. But all at the same time, please remember to live your truth, define your own success. I know for me, I thought success looked a certain way, and to be quite honest, I really didn't like it. One of the things I could say, for example, I looked at successful people as always running around, like just busy, busy, busy. And I like chilling with my family sometimes. So it helped me to really start to define my own success because I was like, I don't have to be exactly like them. I can learn from them, but I don't have to be exactly like them. And that isn't the definition of success anyway. You define your own success. So one of the bits of advice that I got that I thought was really awesome was to not just like follow one person who has what you want, but follow several people, maybe even like 5, and note what they have in common. Someone said, if you're following one person, you may not see a hidden advantage that exists. And for example, he used this example. He said, people come up to me a lot and they ask me, well, how did you make so much money with this company? And he said, well, I had a list of 8,000 people already when the company formed. So, everyone's not going to be that straightforward with you, but what you can do is note what everyone has in common and then start to model those things. So now we'll talk about being happy now. Don't postpone your happiness. Again, that appreciation, that secret sauce, use that. Celebrate your successes, big and small, reward yourself. In fact, I would encourage you when you're writing out your goals that you establish how you're going to reward yourself in advance. I think that'll keep you excited and going, really motivated each day. And remember that you are a work in progress. And again, mentioning Anthony Robbins, he always says that progress equals happiness. And, I don't know if you agree with that, but I do, because I feel like as long as you're working towards something, even if things aren't going your way or things aren't happening fast enough, you can still feel the happiness and enjoy your journey. It is your journey, and you should enjoy it. I say that all the time, but I've had to get on myself about that because I have been the person to beat myself up, and I'm really just learning to enjoy my journey. And part of enjoying my journey is doing what I'm doing right now, and that is really taking people along the journey with me. So here's another little assignment I would encourage you to do. Write down 5 things that are going well right now. Like, what's good? 5 things that are going well, and focus on those things while you're working on achieving your goals. And maybe do this, I don't know, maybe daily if that works for you, weekly. Just always bring yourself back to the positive aspects of what's going well. And then write 5 things down that make you awesome. Like, what's good about you? Write down 5 good things about yourself. I remember I was in a class, and we had this little assignment by our instructor. And the first thing she said was write down 10 things that you like to change about yourself. And it was so easy for us to just scribble. And we were like, the whole class was like done in like less than a minute maybe. And then she said, now write down 10 things that are good about you. And it was like a room full of these blank faces, myself included. And I probably put down like 2 things at that time. And then I like stalled, like, 10 things? That's a lot of things. But get to the point where it's very easy for you, if it isn't already, to be able to write out the things that are working for you, and write out things that are awesome about you, and celebrate that. Celebrate yourself. Love yourself. So coming to the end of this, I want to give out some like personal development shout outs. I do listen to a lot of people or read a lot of books, but as far as the goal setting and everything that I've talked about in this slideshow, I would like to give a shout out to Brian Tracy, again, Chalene Johnson, Brendan Burchard. He is the one who really got me to thinking about checking in with myself and asking those questions. And again, Anthony Robbins. And lastly, again, for upgrading your self-image, I would recommend the book Psycho Cybernetics. In fact, I'm going to read it again myself because it is really just that awesome. So I'm going to end here, and hopefully there are no technical difficulties. Is everything still good, guys? I feel like I've been talking forever. Okay, you see me again now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you guys want to add, like expand on, or talk about anything that I mentioned that works for you?
Well,
first of all, I'd like to say, Carrie, was that you?
That's okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
My computer crashed, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to get in. But anyway, what's the name of the or the author for the book Push?
Oh, Chalene Johnson. If you like, I'll post it in the group for you.
Yep, that would be great.
Can you put it in the chat as well? Can you write it down in a chat?
Let's see. That I just go to Q&A, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there was 2 things that you had mentioned. One about the follow your bliss. That really struck me. And you are not passionate about the road that you're on, it's going to be very easy for you to actually take detours. And those detours are going to be those paths that are not going to get you to your end destination. So yeah, follow your bliss is definitely struck me. And then the last one was, who will you have to become? This was a huge one for me, to not be a people pleaser. You're not going to be, we're not put on this earth, unfortunately, to get along with everybody. I wish it was that way, and I know a lot of us do, but unfortunately there's going to be people that are going to come and go in our lives that we have to sometimes give up. And other people are not going to have the same passion about your dream that you do. And so they're not going to be there to push you through to the end to see your success. So yeah, very, very good points. I love those 2 in particular.
Yeah, everything you said resonated with me, and you know, and maybe the last year and a half, there's been a lot of pumping up about mindset in our profession. And when I first got involved in like 2005, that was like a no-no. And I can say I was one of those people. As soon as you mentioned you're going to have a webinar or something with teleconference about that, I was not there. I was about the tools, and I was believing in, there was even more hype then about get rich quick than there is today, but if you could imagine. And when you said, who will you have to become? I didn't even get a handle on that until I read the Your First Year in Network Marketing, because that exposed all the hype, lies, and promises that the usual sponsor would give you. And not saying they were lousy sponsors somewhere, but that was how they were taught, and then they would teach that. And then trying to become that person and fit myself into things that I weren't comfortable with. And I'm not talking about the uncomfortability, the fear stuff to get over. Things that just I knew didn't seem ethical and bothersome, and that's not who I wanted to be, to have my own home business. And once I read The First Year in Network Marketing, I'm going to post that link in the group too, I became closer to finding my voice. Now, it took more learning, but I became comfortable with taking the pieces that were a good fit with me, figuring out what else I needed to study to become part of this profession and be comfortable and good at it. And when you were talking about the finding your role models and stuff, I think that some people forget or they don't hear that we are to emulate some things, but we have the right to think outside the box, be creative, and put our twist to something. Because until you really find you in what you do, I don't think you cross over to the heights that you want to be. And those steps that you took us through today will get somebody there. Because you will have breakthroughs doing those steps. Yeah. Every time I've went through processes like that in a live conference or on my own, reading a really good book that took me through that, I found me, discovered me, things that I liked, things that I didn't like, but it made me a better person personally and professionally. And when you think that you can have a successful business and separate the personal side of you and the professional side, you're way off the mark.
Yeah.
They go together. If you're religious or you're not religious, or you believe in this or believe in that, if you don't learn how to work it together and then go pursue what you need to do, you'll never have people meeting the true you, and your belief systems won't be there to carry you. So I love your presentation. I want to let you know.
Thank you, Karen.
Am I living my truth? I remember when I had to ask myself that a couple of years ago, because I was trying to be other people that I thought were great and said they earned a lot. I was trying to be my sponsors, and it never worked. It never worked. And also, I'll tell you this. The day I came across a sponsor that said to me, stop trying to make this work for you and forget about all that you have learned in your career. She said, it belongs there. It could very well be your niche. I was trying to revamp myself. Yeah. And it was like crazy, because the questions, well, who am I? Well, who am I? What am I going to be? I already was developing who I was and had so much to offer, but it was always presented to me like I had to leave that behind. And I had a lovely sponsor who said, no, bring that with you, because as a matter of fact, that could be your money and that could be your niche. And when she said that, my primary business that I have now, that I've had a few years, took off. My leads and my avatar was right there, and I couldn't see it because I was trying to find a different avatar. I was trying to find somebody else, because people kept telling me I had to forget all of that. And it's just amazing. You just tied into so many things. Anyone who's on this webinar tonight who hasn't done any exercise like this need to get off and start doing this, and they will see a difference. And I don't even know if you know how powerful your message has been tonight. That's what I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if I can add something as well, that was your first webinar. I'm sure you practiced for hours. Tell us the truth.
No. I was telling, were you on? I was telling Carrie, I didn't practice because I wanted to speak from the heart. I didn't want to.
And you
That's
did.
why I was like, am I even going to be 20 minutes? Because I have no idea. Like, am I going to be able to talk for long? You know.
I know you
I just
said
wanted to
that
come from my heart.
before we did the webinar, but it was actually absolutely awesome. And I think that the people who are not here this evening have missed on something, but you will get the link very soon. And the reason why it was so good is because, as you said, you know, people will start the new year with great resolutions. And it is true that by the 15th or by the end of the month, many will just have given up because you just try to stretch yourself so much and to accomplish so much and to beat yourself so much, like this is how it's going to work out, when for months and months you've been exactly the same person. But you need to allow yourself to grow into that person. So that message was very powerful for that. And you've got such a lovely, sweet voice. I could just listen to you like, oh, this is so nice.
Look,
But
guys, this is the testimony of getting out of your comfort zone, because
Yeah.
all these things that I'm doing now, I had issues with. Like you just said, my voice, I have to crack up because I used to hate hearing my voice, and I didn't want to see myself on video. It was just the scariest thing ever. I don't know why, but
That's right.
this is the
And that's the
testimony
reason
of
why.
getting out the box.
Well, I tell you, no hype. You did a wonderful job, and
you did fantastic.
Yes, your tonality showed that you were passionate about this, and that you even felt this. You could tell that you've done this process yourself, because your tone would change that way, and you're doing everybody a disservice if you don't go do a public webinar.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I think that
this is not meant. This is not meant for you to keep to yourself.
Thank you.
And I was going to suggest too that I would, if I was you, take this webinar, do a video of just your webinar, and put it on your YouTube channel, and optimize it.
Break it down into pieces.
Like
You can
right now,
3-minute pieces. You got like, how many videos do you think she got out of this? With all those different steps?
About 20.
Just one step. The mission by itself could be 3 videos. The priority could be, you could do that in 1, or you could break it down to 5, just the steps you took to get to identifying what your priority was. And then you could do a whole video about the emotion behind it. The affirmations is 1 video by itself. You've got, you got much you should have one every day. Awesome.
You have some homework to do, Tiffany.
And then
repurpose
it into a blog post if you got a blog. Your slides right here can go on SlideShare.
Actually, just right now, I've just finished writing an article. I've just finished writing a blog post just by listening to your hangout. So thank you very much for the content. It's done for tomorrow.
Yes, I got my video.
Tomorrow.
I got my video headlines for tomorrow. Thank you, Tiffany.
Something else I wanted to add, which I think was very important in what you said, is, you said that you didn't feel comfortable, you didn't like your voice, so on and so forth. And what you said is the truth, in a sense that action kills fear. If you spend your time just thinking about it without doing anything, it is going not to be bad. It is going to go from bad to worse. And then to the point that you will believe that you can't recover from it. And it's all in your mind, because the way you see yourself, people are not seeing you this way. I think you were absolutely professional. It was great content, great information. And it is nice to hear that not on the 1st or the 2nd or the 1st week of January, but the middle of January, and actually even in March, people who still need to listen to it and remember that what they said initially in January, there is still hope. They can still do it. But, there are some steps that they need to apply. And that is also the reason why, having some daily habits is what is going to root you in what you are doing on a daily basis. Because not having any daily habits and not having a mastermind partner can be really difficult, because when things get tough, when you're like, oh, you know what, I can't see physically any results, I feel like giving up, because you've got somebody to get accountable to. You can't just say, this is it, enough is enough. Well, you still have to do it anyway. Everybody is suffering and everybody has pains, you know. I mean, when I came back from Paris, I had a great time, ate loads of gorgeous foods, and my plan of action was like by Monday, by Tuesday, by Wednesday, I'm going to wake up at blah, 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 blah. And I got sick for a week. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't plan that. I was vexed. I was really vexed. You know what? This is it. I think I should give up. But no. And what I've learned over time is to understand that you are your best friend and you are your best enemy. It's what I say all the time. So I'm fine now. Yes, I was sick. Great. I'm wearing my onesies. Great. I'm going to take it easy, but I'm going to make it, because you have to stand the test of time. If you just give up right now, what's the point? So everything that you said was absolutely brilliant. And celebrating your success, any little success is something huge, absolutely huge, because it makes you feel good at the end of the day. I've done this and I've done that, even if it's small. I had one lead and that lead said, oh, thank you for calling me. This is a lot. You know, instead of beating yourself up constantly, I think it was brilliant. And finally, I would say there is a great book from Jeff Olson called The Slight Edge, which is about small activity which over time turn into something huge. Like so often, you know, we try something, I'm like, okay, well, it's been a week now, it's been a month, but people will say, yeah, well, I should have finished, blah, 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 blah. Just do what you can, but you will do it compared to somebody who will simply give up. So just one more, you know, once more, your webinar was absolutely awesome. I've finished my blog post. I'm waiting now to transfer the video on my blog.
You know, I love that you, Aurora, brought up the mastermind partnership. One thing that really sent chills to me when I heard Napoleon Hill on a video say, if you try to do this by yourself, you will not succeed. And he was so adamant about that. And I listened to the whole video over to hear that part, because I was one that always was trying to do it on my own. When I worked a job, I rarely in my whole life worked in an environment where teamwork was more than just a word. Okay? So there have been times when me and Aurora will have our mastermind meeting and we're like, oh, I'm okay, we're doing this, we're doing that. And then be a few days later, one of the others like, I gotta talk. We gotta talk. It'll be one going, oh, I don't know. I can't. I just can't do. I don't know what's going on in my head. I'm not feeling this and this and that. And then you need the other one to say, okay, go ahead, vent. What's going on? And then that person's going to remind you of everything you said the week before. What were you trying to accomplish? Why you in this? And then we go, oh, okay, it's over, and you brush it off. But when you sit by yourself, if you're emotionally tied to that negative self-talk, and then you're in the wrong environment, and your wrong environment can be your house at the moment, you can just go further in the deep, with that stuff, and never come out of it. So I'm so glad you bring that up, because I really think that I'm not saying a person can't accomplish anything about without a partner, but think of all the leaders you admire. You always hear them edify somebody.
Absolutely.
Right? And I believe strongly that from the moment me and Aurora lined up, that I have accomplished, I think I'm months and months ahead of where I would have been on my own. Just from us brainstorming, based on us sharing information, and it's just been very dynamic. And then two of us came up with Mastermind Fever Group, where we got to meet other people who not only have we shared ideas with, we've gotten ideas from. And since we both like to implement, and if I don't implement something I learned, she drives me nuts. So, you know, hiya, what you been doing, darling? Did you do such and such? Because I didn't see it on YouTube yet. Okay, darling, I'll be looking for it.
That's the same with Marvin. That's the same with Marvin and I too. It's so funny.
Oh, Carrie, say it again. You just froze up.
Can you hear me at least?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My computer's acting weird. But yeah, Marvin and I, we Facebook message each other well into the wee hours of the morning, back and forth, back and forth. So important.
Yes, yes, yes.
Have you got any questions in the chat, please? Sorry, we've just been like carried away. We just loved it so much.
Tiffany,
I'm so glad because I was
Tiffany, who's your mastermind partner, Tiffany?
I don't have one yet. I don't have.
Have you reached out to anyone?
So the group is my partner.
Okay.
I have kind of connected a little bit, but I haven't solidified a partner yet.
Okay. I have a young lady I'd like to introduce you to. Y'all don't have to be mastermind partners, but I would love to have y'all at least have an opportunity to meet each other. She's on vacation right now. Now she's in Cabos, and when she get back, I'm gonna ask her.
Okay.
You sort of remind me of her.
Okay.
But I think hearing your mindset about in this business is something that she might need to hear right now.
Okay.
And she shouldn't hear it from me because I'm her mother.
Okay. Now you know the truth.
She's in the mastermind. She's in our group. She's in our group. She's on vacation right now.
Okay.
But I just can't get rid of that mom tone, you know, so it doesn't come across very well.
Actually, that's something I wanted to say. You know, like if you are in MLSP or not, but if you know that in order to drive your business, you need to have a marketing strategy. Would it be videos, or would it be blogs, or would it be whatever? Once you actually understand how to drive traffic, there is just so much of traffic that you can learn about, because you realize that, yeah, but I'm still stuck. Okay, compared to somebody who's a newbie who say, oh wow, you're doing so great, but you feel stuck. And what I've realized is that what makes the big difference is what goes in your mind. Because if you don't feed your mind the right way, you're going to dry out.
Yeah.
Completely dry out. So you need to mingle with people who are not like you and who are having success, and you not that you desire what they have, but you want to emulate, as you said, you want to model their success. So more and more and more, mindset is number one, and then the marketing strategy is number two. That is the reason why you will see some leaders in MLSP. They don't look great on video, I can tell you right now. And you realize that it's not the issue. What was important is creating the content, syndicating your content, and because you feel good about yourself and you know you can do it, you feel empowered, you just carry on, and then all the doors are open. But if you think about being like perfect initially, nothing is going to happen. So the mind is the first asset that you need to look at. Buying courses is great, but if your mind is jacked up, there is no way that is going to work out in the long run. So
I know one leader who looks awesome in videos.
and his name starts with F.
Frank Marino.
Yeah, I knew she was about to say that. You too, Gary.
I found Frank Marino before I found MLSP, and I called my daughter. She was starting home business. I said, hey, go check out this guy on YouTube, and he's talking about your company. And then I said, look, if you don't get nothing out of it, he's really cute. It's a win-win situation.
Okay.
I'm going to have to watch his videos.
Hey, listen. Hey, attraction marketing, right?
I got to see who she's talking about.
This is distraction marketing.
Exactly.
Tiffany, add something more. Do you want to add anything else?
No,
Want to
I
say
don't.
something more?
I'm really glad that you guys got value out of it because I was just like, please let me add some value. So, yeah,
You
I'm
did.
happy. I don't have anything to
I'm
add though.
happy. I put the link for the first year network marketing in the chat for those who want it.
Really? Is it in the chat?
Yeah, do you see it?
I see it.
Ah, right. We have two chats.
Yeah, that'll help you. That book will help you get past some of the expectations you have that aren't real to get you in the right mindset so you could keep going, you know? Because it's not an overnight success, but you do want to have some, see some results.
Yeah.
Yeah, young lady, when are you going to have your public webinar?
I'm going to sit down and map that out, and I'm probably going to ask for some advice in the group, by the way. So just so you know.
Oh, you
I'll
want
be
some advice now?
well.
Like when?
As far as what to use or what service should I be using this? Just little things like that. Nothing real major. Right now, until I start mapping it out, then I'll probably have a gazillion questions once I start putting stuff on paper and tweaking some of this stuff that I shared today.
Hey, we can work something out, Lydia. We need to talk.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something, but I'm just looking at it. Looks like a long-term goal instead of a short-term goal she's talking about here.
Yeah.
So, Tiffany.
Yes, ma'am.
So, give like in 2 weeks. What's the date? Let me get my calendar.
I actually brought my calendar in here too, just in case.
Yes, yeah. Get your calendar. We'll wait.
I got it.
Carrie, we don't play, right?
No.
Jump in.
I already know. Let me see. Okay, I got my calendar.
I think it should be the 2nd. Isn't it February 2nd-ish?
You picked the date, Carrie?
No, because remember, next week we're going to have our special guest, Patricia.
Right. On the 27th.
Wonderful Patricia. And then on the first week of February, it's going to be Pitch Me If You Can, if you remember.
Pitch Me, yeah. So that
Me
means
If You
the second Monday. You know what? Pick any date you want. Not Monday, because that's Mastermind Fever. Pick any date, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, right, Aurora?
Yeah.
And get with Aurora. So you don't have to worry about what system to use. Get with Aurora, okay?
Okay. Alrighty.
And yeah, Carrie should get with Aurora, and we'll let her use the webinars on air.
All
Okay?
right. All right. I'm gonna give with y'all.
Get with Aurora. So can you do that the second week in February?
Mhm.
And you'll do your event in Facebook and invite all your friends, and then we'll come and invite all our friends.
Okay.
That kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be another PJ party.
Okay. And if you want, what was the headline? What was the headline for this webinar? I forgot.
I had Get Out of Your Own Way.
That sounds good.
Y'all can.
Okay. And then have all your bullets for the event so people know what they're gonna learn. And yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So are there any questions from the audience?
No, I can't see any questions. Yes, Andrea, Patricia is coming next week. And actually, by the way, tomorrow I will be on the Tuesday Hangout with MLSP at 9 p.m. EST. So if you want to come, I will be with the wonderful, beautiful, Kate is beautiful. Kate and Andrew are just an amazing couple. There will be Patricia as well. There will be Brian, and a guy called Brian. I can't remember his surname, but I got invited, so it's going to be exciting, you know?
Cool.
Job.
So let me see. That probably went out in the email already. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't see any questions right now in the chat, but on my side, before I leave you, I'm going to say it was a pleasure having you this evening, Tiffany, during this hangout. It was awesome. You need to
Thank you
carry
very
on and plan other webinars because you're meant to do that. I can feel that you're a great leader with a great heart and you really want to help people, so it's going to be awesome. And
do you have our slide?
I've done it now.
Do you have our slide with our link and that mentions the bonuses?
Yes, absolutely. So if I share my screen right now. So those who are part of the master, oops, let me know if you can.
I can see it. Go to the second one. Second slide.
Yeah, just that on my side I can't see anything though. Okay, okay. Is there anything there?
The first slide.
Okay. Can you see the second one?
No, the first.
Okay. Oh, my computer is not too happy with me. Right. Can you see the second one now?
Yes.
Yeah.
How come I can't see anything? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So, for those who are joining us in MLSP, because everything that we know, you know, Carrie, Lydia, and myself is from MLSP, which is not a secret anymore. But for those who want to learn as well how to find the marketing strategy for you to use to generate loads of leads for your business and have to have the right mindset. It is from MLSP that I learned so much about mindset. And if you want to have more exposure, well, we are inviting you to join our inner circle. And if you go to tinyurl.com/MLSP Aulyca, MLSP AULYCA, you are going to have access to the following bonuses. So bonus number 1 is Social Lead Freak. It is an amazing tool that you can use to start generating leads today using Facebook and using the Power Editor and get very targeted leads. That costs $97 if you check online. Then the second bonus is our one-to-one VIP coaching sessions where Lydia, Kerry, and myself will be able to answer any questions you may have to help you grow your business, which is invaluable because an hour is already worth $197, but you will have it for free when you join us in MLSP. Number 3, you will also have access to a free WordPress blog and you will have your yearly hosting for free. And you are also going to be given on your blog a plugin called Insta Builder plugin where you can create capture pages, landing pages, OTO, so one-time offer pages, welcome pages, exit pages, everything that you want pages. It is a great plugin. Check it online as well, and this is worth at least $77. And finally, you will have access to our private mastermind inner circle group where we would like to invite you to find a mastermind partner and grow your business faster. So again, these bonuses are available to you when you go to tinyurl.com/MLSP Aulyca. That's it for me.
Okay, have a good evening, everyone.
See you later.
Take care. Aurora, Carrie, we meeting for a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll stay.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Thank
No
you so
problem.
much, Tiffany.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Andrea. Okay, so I'm going to stop the broadcast.